Hello everyone, my name is Jean-Luc, and welcome to my review on Spyfall Part 1. Written by Chris Chibnall and directed by Jamie Stone, this episode is very much a homage to spy thrillers, very much like that of James Bond. And although I'm personally not a fan of that genre of film, I think they pull it off rather well. The episode has a fantastic pace throughout, and does a really good job of building, whilst keeping the audience on the edge of their seat. So getting into the plot, this episode sees the Doctor and her friends recruited by MI6 to investigate some strange goings on in the spy world. Intelligence agents all around the world are being assassinated, with their DNA rewritten and their bodies left behind as nothing but shells. Once there, the head of MI6 puts them on the trail of a man named Daniel Barton, the founder and CEO of a popular search engine, Vor.
What's so special about Vor then?
The link being that all of the agents that had been killed had been investigating leads associated to him beforehand. Now on her way, the Doctor gets in contact with an old friend, O, an ex-agent responsible for monitoring extraterrestrial activities, and her and Graham go off to find him at his house in outback Australia. Meanwhile, Yaz and Ryan are off to interview Daniel Barton. But having to cut the interview short, Barton invites them to his birthday party the following day. However, Yaz has discovered from a DNA scan that he's only registering as 97% human, as well as we're later shown that he's either in league or being used by the alien creatures. Now, we still don't know what these creatures are or what they're fully capable of, but Yaz does end up getting zoinked by one of them, and sent to this almost anti-zone. I don't quite know how to describe it. It's very alien and void-like. It could be another dimension, as we see the whole alternate Earth thing, which is very intriguing, but I'm not sure. But yeah, anyway, she's fine. I can't actually remember how exactly she ends up at O's house. Like, him and the Doctor have managed to capture one of them, and she's kinda just zapped through in its place. So, sorry for not checking this before recording. But anyway, now with the team all back together and looking absolutely glorious, I must say, the Doctor, O and the rest of the team head off to Barton's party, accompanied by some fantastic music by Sagan Akinola. I'm trying to remember the name of the track. I think it was something like Me and My Mates, but it was like all James Bondified, and yeah, it's pretty great. Like most of the music, to be fair. Yeah, no complaints. In fact, I'd say that the music is a big highlight. Because although maybe not as iconic as Murray's stuff, and without it slapping you in the face every 10 minutes, it's just nice, it's just there, it sets the tone, and I just think this music is a lot more suited to the show. But anyway, Sagan ramble over. This is where I think everything really starts to ramp up. So much goes down, and there's so much good stuff in there. In fact, I think Jodie gets some of her best scenes during the party. I mean, there's a few funny bits with her playing cards and then she does snap, but the bit that I really liked and thought stood out for her Doctor in particular was when she confronts Barton. This to me was when the 13th Doctor felt like she was the Doctor. She felt like she was in control, and yeah, it's a moment that I've been waiting for a very long time. I mean, I know a lot of people say, well, resolution when she confronts the Dalek, but if you know me, you know I'm not the biggest fan of that story. But here, I think she's really nailed it. Our Doctor feels a lot more confident and in control, and I hope this continues. We get a good action chase scene. It's great seeing 13 on a motorbike. It's very Indiana Jones-esque, with Barton hanging out the window shooting at them, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. And then they get to the plane, and something happens, something that I don't think any of us were expecting. Yeah, I'm just gonna go out and say it. Sacha Dhawan is the master. I'm still shook. It's surprises like this that makes me glad that Chibnall hates so much. But my god, this just came out of nowhere, and what good casting as well. I mean, Dhawan was my choice of actor who I wanted to play the Doctor a couple years ago, so to see him now in the show as the master is just brilliant. Oh, and I love that they brought back the little tissue compressor. Oh, that whole last scene was just amazing. Like, but yeah, that little bit of them that we see at the end, I thought was absolutely great. So anyway, now trying to quickly wrap up the synopsis. The Master's revealed himself. His TARDIS is right outside the window. Also, Daniel Barton is no longer flying the plane. Instead, in this place, there's a bomb. The front of the plane blows up. The Master teleports over to his TARDIS. The light alien things show up, one goes through Jodie, and she ends up in the kind of alien void zone place where Yaz was. And that was pretty much it. Quite a mad way to end, I must say. But with that said, I think I should get into some of my positives. I think this episode really got the balance right with the Doctor and her companions. No one felt like a spare part, everyone got involved and something to do, and even just that little introduction bit at the start I think did wonders for them. They're actually beginning to feel more like characters. I mean, Yaz seemed to be a lot more inquisitive and got more stuck in, which was good, by making them more of the comic relief. Because obviously Series 11 was very Ryan and Graham plot driven, so I think it's good, taking them a little bit out of the limelight. I mean, they're still really good. In fact, I thought Tolson as an actor felt a lot more believable here, because I've said in the past that I thought his performance can be quite wooden at times, but with this more comedic material, I think it really plays to his strengths. And yeah, I quite like that. I quite like the dynamic that him and Graham have. They really bounce off each other well. And again, I'm excited to see where they go as the series progresses. All our positives also on characters. I thought that the guest cast were really good. Stephen Fry and Lenny Henry handed in a couple of great performances. Sure, it was a little bit of a shame seeing Stephen Fry's character being killed off so soon, but I think it made enough sense, and I don't think his inclusion felt wasted. I thought this episode looked great. The direction, settings, all that jazz I think was really good. As I've already mentioned, Sagan's score is just... and Jolie as 13 gives one of our best performances in the show I think to date. But now it's time for the stuff that I didn't enjoy as much. That bloody impact font. Stop using it. It's awful. But no, in all honesty, I did find some of the storytelling a little clunky at times. If I hadn't have rewatched this, I would think a lot lower of it than I do now. I mean, I certainly picked up a lot more on a second viewing, as at first I thought things just seemed to happen, and also that alongside the goofiness with all the spy stuff and the dumb gadgets and all that, just felt a little bit too silly at times. But hey, I mean, it's Doctor Who. It's about an alien that travels in a police box through time and space, so... silly is what it does. And as I said on a second viewing, once you know the twist, the things that at first was like, okay, that was just a bit convenient, do make a lot more sense once you realise that the master's behind it. As for other criticisms, there's still a lot of exposition in the dialogue. I know some of that can't be helped, but it does just feel like the Doctor is telling us things, which is a problem I've had with Chibnall for a while. It is very apparent in his writing. Like, even although I think this is probably his best script to date, he does still need to work on a few things. But overall, I thought this was a serious step up from what we've seen previously from Chibnall. It was so much more fun and out there, and although not perfect, as a part 1 to your opening series, I think this was a pretty great start. Obviously we'll need to wait until next time to see how this all wraps up, but as of right now, very strong opener, and I hope that part 2 gives us the answers we deserve. I'm giving Spyfall part 1 a 7 out of 10. If you enjoyed this review, then be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, we have a lot of Series 12 content coming your way, and yeah, I'll see you next time with another review. Goodbye.